listening to the Animation Addicts Podcast, episode 369, Masters of the Universe 2026. Dude, where's my dad? Welcome to the Animation Addicts Podcast with the Rotoscopers, the number one place to get your animation fix with animation addicts just like you. Each episode, we dive into the wonderful world of animation featuring Disney, DreamWorks, Pixar, and everything in between. From hilarious discussions and movie reviews to interviews with industry insiders, this show's mission is to brighten your day through our love of animation. So hop on your nerdy couch, grab some snacks, and get ready to hang out with your animation besties because it's time to dive into today's episode. Hey there, animation addicts. I'm Morgan Stradling.
And I'm Chelsea Robson.
Chelsea, do you have the power?
I have the power. I am drunk on member berries right now. Like, completely. So,
I love it.
I'm excited to have this conversation about Masters of the Universe.
This is going to be a fun one. You know, we were thinking about what movies to do, and there's lots of new movies coming out. And, you know, with this one, it's animation related because it's based on an animated property, and it's doing interesting in the box office. So I had a live stream the other day, and this was one of the things that came up on the box office. So I said, hey, let's do this. And so I invited you. And yeah, so if you want to listen to that episode, you can just find it in the podcast feed. You can also go to the live stream section of the YouTube channel and it will appear up there. So yeah. So thank you for joining me for this one. I knew you would not say no to Masters of the Universe.
Well, at first I had gotten notice from a couple friends of mine and that they were, well, I would say acquaintances. I don't really know all of them. I'm on a group chat and they're like, oh, we're going to do this. I'm like, okay. So I was planning on going tomorrow, but then based on other things, I was like, I don't have time for that. And I would much rather do it on a different time. So I went tonight. And so my story, can we jump into this or am I jump the gun?
Let's jump in after this quick break. All right. Tell us the story you were going to tell before we had to jump into our break.
Yeah, no, this is the story. I'm just telling the story about my theater experience. Morgan has been very much in the encouragement of people to go and have a theater experience as of late.
I am not being paid by the theater lobby.
Big theater has
by big theater. No, I actually go to small theaters.
AMC is not paying her.
I have not been to AMC in quite a long time.
Yeah. Well, I went to a Regal because that's what we have over here. And it had been so long since I've been to a Regal because they're very regional. But there is one in Arizona, but it's not a big brand there. There's about 5 of them here in Nashville. And so there was one right next to where I would get my groceries and I was like, I'll go there. And so I go over and I'm like, whenever the next one is happening, that's the ticket I'm buying. Right. And so I just go in and I pick the $6.20 and it gets to the price and I'm like, what the $23? How long has it been since I've been to a movie? If it's this much money, like what?
And you text this to me and I say, I mean, I'm not going to say don't go to that theater. Don't spend $23 because clearly you're already there. But at the same time, I said, those are IMAX prices. That's wild.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is definitely not IMAX. So, but I'm here and I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time. And so here we go. So I get started and all of a sudden they have this like preview thing that starts called X Screen. Have you ever heard of this, Morgan?
I have. I have not had the experience to witness it.
I had never heard of this, Morgan.
Yeah. I'd seen it on X and I'm like, wow, that's an interesting thing. I didn't remember that it was called X Screen, but I just knew that there was this thing which you are going to explain.
Yeah, so they had this preview and it said before movies were just stuck on one screen. Now we have 3. So basically what they do is they have the front screen and then it's like having a computer. It's like having a gamer screen where it like curves around you. And that's basically how it feels when you're in this. Like it's just a giant, because both of the walls to your flanks are also.
There's like screens at a 45-degree angle from the main screen, right? It's not a completely curved giant wraparound screen. It's 3 separate screens, but they kind of give the illusion that it is wrapping around together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so it's a super from like one ear to the other, literally.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm watching this and all of a sudden it like expands to the whole thing. I'm like, oh, that's what I bought. So I now understand why it was so expensive. And I was like, $23. I don't understand. Now I do.
Hey, and you got to give us the theater report.
So this is my review of the X screen experience. I liked it. I thought it was a fun time. It kind of I felt like, oh, is this what it feels like to be at the Sphere? Or, you know, in Vegas, like it's like the whole surround, not just surround sound, but surround view. And I think as far as the editing goes, I liked how, I mean, it's basically like super widescreen, super panorama, and then they just flank it onto the side. So you're still getting a center screen with all of the major things happening, but all of the peripherals are happening like that come on the side and then come into screen. So if this were to be flattened out, it really wouldn't make that big of a difference because everything that you would need to see is in the center screen anyway. Does that make sense?
Yeah, interesting. Wondering how they do that in post-production, because
yeah,
I'm sure there's some scenes where it's like they fly in from the one side or from this corner, but you don't want people's heads on a swivel the whole time they're watching a movie. And so there must be some interesting behind the scenes editing.
And not even just like in the post-production, but like in the actual recording. I'm going to have to do some digging on this. Once again, I didn't know this existed until I walked into the theater 3 hours ago. So I will have to look that up and see what the whole thing is about. But it makes me wonder, like, okay, is it like one of those 360 cameras where it just has like a whole bunch of cameras that point out everywhere? I don't know. So, but either way, I felt like it was a fun experience. Would I say that it's worth it? Definitely it has to be for a movie like this. I feel like it really fit the demographic of the gamer type. And so it's like somebody who would like to see this kind of a movie would also like to have a gamer view, you know? So I feel like it was well played for the for the actual demographic. If this were in, I don't know, if this were like Wizard of Oz, I think I would also like it too. So I don't know. I don't know what I would say as far as like, is this worth it? I think it was, as far as like a gimmick. It's a fun thing to experience once. And if this is the movie that you experience it with, then great. There's other movies that I'm like, I'm not sure if this would be worth it in, like, say, You Got Mail or something like that. If they brought one of these other nostalgia movies up, would I get the same out of it? I don't think I would. So it really depends on the movie, but I think that it was all in all a good experience and I enjoyed it.
Nice, but a gimmick nonetheless, right? It's kind of like 3D when that was the big thing. Everyone's jumping on the bandwagon. Yeah. Although this isn't as attainable or easily accessible for other people, studios and theaters to jump on the bandwagon, because it requires an actual set of screens to be installed, right? Yeah. Let's talk about some basic information about this film just to get ourselves up to speed. So the movie is Masters of the Universe. The release date, June 5th, 2026. It's directed by Travis Knight. The screenplay is by Chris Butler, Adam Nee, and David Callahan. Obviously, it's based on the Masters of the Universe by Mattel. And as far as box office, well, budget 170 to 200 million. I've been hearing the 200 million range. And box office so far, it's only been out a week at the time of recording, $63.1 million. So people are already saying that this is a flop. If you're looking at its opening weekend, it did $29.4 million in its opening weekend. And it it lost to Scary Movie, which had done basically double that. So yeah, it launched at number 2. By Saturday, it was 3. Sunday, it was the 4th movie, and it stayed the 4th movie consistently ever since. So I don't imagine, unless some of these other movies totally fall off, that it's going to have a really grand long legs. But you never know with movies. But this movie has gotten weird press, I'd say. Sometimes I've been hearing people say, oh, this is great, this is amazing, this is like really fun, campy, and others, this is like terrible. And yeah, so you wanted to know my theater experience. So my theater experience was much, I guess, different than yours, where I went to a smaller theater. I went to a theater that was formerly an Alamo Draft House, and the one that serves you food and whatnot. And I took my parents. Well, I told my parents the kids are camping this weekend, and because of a long string of events, I'm just staying home this weekend. And when that happens, I usually like to go to a late night movie by myself, or with the baby. Why not? And so I mentioned that, and my mom was like, well, we'll go to a movie with you. And they are daytime movie folks, meaning like the 1 p.m., 1:30 showing is what we went to.
Right.
And I haven't told Chelsea this, so I'm interested in your reaction. But so we go, and I tell him, like, it's not, she's like, is it sci-fi? I'm like, it's not sci-fi, it's more fantasy. I mean, I am not so up on Masters of the Universe. I think we should talk about our history
growing up with
He-Man before we kind of go into this. But yeah, so we go, and watching it, I'm just like, oh, this is not their type of movie at all. No. This is really cringe. And I'm not joking. With 30 minutes to go, my dad stands up, leaves. I thought he was going to the restroom. No, he just went to the car and waited in the car.
Oh my gosh.
It was that bad for him. I thought it was bad, which is opposite of you. Total opposite of you.
Yeah.
So I decided to talk about it. So I think before we get into the movie, I mean, there's been a lot of caveats here, but what's your history with He-Man or Masters of the Universe?
Well, my history, like I mentioned earlier, I was, drunk on member berries because for me, there's a lot of nostalgia with this. I grew up with my brothers really liking He-Man. They had the whole Castle Grayskull. They had all of the toys. I remember playing with the toys like as a kid and being like, oh, this like Ram Man guy, like he squats and he bunches. Like it's just like they're fun little toys. And so I had the nostalgia with the toys, and I had the nostalgia with the actual show, because even though as like a youngin, I came in a little bit after it was on television, but my brothers had recorded a couple episodes. And so that was my only real, like the toys, and then like 3 episodes is what I knew as a kid. And then Morgan like knew that I had this affinity, this nostalgia for the toys and such. And she's like, well, was it for Christmas?
It was Christmas one year, yeah.
Yeah, for Christmas, she got me all the DVDs for the show. And it was wonderful. It was such a funny, like, it was the campy. It was just like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious that she would buy me this. And so this is like high school. No, it wasn't
college-ish.
It was end of high school, college kind of, because Bridget, my friend from the ranch work, she and I, after work, we would go back to my house and just like hang out, which meant that we turned on the projector and watched a couple episodes of He-Man.
Nice.
And made fun of it. We didn't make fun of it, but we kind of laughed around with it. Yeah. We were just like, it was just
jokingly. You're like along with the joke.
Yeah. And so Bridget and I, it was a fun time for us. And so that was the joke, was that she was my paid friend because my parents paid her to work at the ranch. But like, anyways, she would come back and then we would stare at the wall because we would just have the projector on the wall. So that was our joke. And we watched He-Man. And so I have very fond memories around the show and around the toys and all the things. So I am going into this. I actually didn't have high hopes at all when I first heard about it, because I was like, oh no, because I know that like there was the other one in like 1987 and it was just like that one was really bad. But I had seen enough people say that it looked good, or at least I had seen enough reviews after the fact that they were like, hey, no, this was actually fun. And so I was like, okay, open mind, let's just go and let's watch and see how I like it. So that is my history.
That is exactly the reason that I was open to seeing this. At first, when I saw it, I thought, when I saw the trailers and whatnot, I thought, that's not for me. You know, I didn't grow up with He-Man. I didn't have toys. I didn't have the show. I know of He-Man and some of the main characters, but clearly not all of them, because there were some characters in here I was like, I've never heard of this person in my life.
Yes.
You know, like so not a fan, not having watched it. I know that there's a moral at the end of the story, and you know, the memes and whatnot, but just so very, very slightly above surface level knowledge of He-Man. And like you, I had heard, hey, this is actually really a fun time. You know, people are hating on it, but this is actually great. And then I did see the thing that really tipped me over the edge is I saw a tweet that said, I think in about 3 years' time, we're going to look back at Masters of the Universe and realize it was one of those underrated, great films.
Yeah.
It did poorly in the box office, but not because it was a bad film. And so I was like, okay, let's go see this movie. I know I can get Chelsea on board. Whew, I think I needed to be a fan.
Maybe.
Or maybe because I was slightly tainted by the audience that I was with. I was just like, oh my gosh, I took my parents here and they paid for me.
Yeah.
And
your dad left. Oh man.
There's a lot of things that I really liked that they did with this, and other things that really didn't work for me. I love the actor. So the main actor who plays Prince Adam, I guess. Every time I think of Prince Adam, I just think of how Beast from Beauty and the Beast is not canonically known as Prince Adam, but he'll always be Prince Adam to me. But the cast is Nicholas Galitzine, and he's kind of a newcomer. I don't know. He's been not a newcomer. I mean, he's been in stuff for quite a while, but I thought he was quite dishy as He-Man.
Yes, he was quite dishy.
Yeah, I liked him as He-Man, and I thought he was great. And I really loved the moments when, well, I'm all over on this, but I loved when he was He-Man. I loved when he had the muscles, when he was full in the outfit with the loincloth. It's not a loincloth, but it was like the girdle and the muscles and the abs and everything, and the sword and the hair. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad they're leaning into this, because this is perfect.
Perfectly coiffed great hair.
Yes. Yes. It was great. And I love that. And then I also,
and young Adam, like the young Adam comes up and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's just so squishy.
What a little sweetie. I love his hair too.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, you know, so they have this really, it's rough. Like it's kind of all over the place, because they want you to get invested in the He-Man lore. But then, so they really get you up to speed of, oh, you know, here's this place and this place and this place and this person. And to me, as someone who's never seen, like, I watched this little thing after the fact. It was basically like He-Man from the cartoon show explaining all the main characters. I don't know if this was the theme song or some sort of intro thing that he did, but I was like, oh, this would have been nice to have watched beforehand, because he explains who the sorceress is and this person and that person and all these things. But I didn't know any of that. But I knew, okay, these are clearly important people. But they have to introduce the audience, no matter where you're at, very quickly to all of these things, and then banish him to Earth with the sword, and then we kind of waffle around in Earth for some reason, because they just want to get back to, what is this place called?
Eternia.
Eternia. Yeah, they just want to get back there. So I'm like, and the Earth sections were really funny, and they set up different parts of the plot, but were they even needed? Could we have achieved those things by not having to have been banished all the way to Earth? Maybe he was banished somewhere else.
Yes, I actually appreciated all of the references of having to work in HR and just live in this such a non-He-Man like world. like completely the opposite of like muscles and brawn, completely to HR and like, how do we talk about our feelings and all of these things. I liked that. I felt like it was funny.
I love that too. Like, I thought it was great because it really contrasts that he is from this very masculine world. And we see that where he's growing up with all these fighters and warriors, and he's really small and he's not that great at it. And he has the moment with the dad, and the dad doesn't turn back and doesn't get to see that he really was a man. And then he gets thrown into corporate HR world, which is very feminized.
Yes.
And it's the total opposite of, I keep wanting to say Europa. It's Eternia? Yeah. It's really, because it's very female woman coded, where it's all about your feelings and let's talk about it. And then it's just this cringe corporate HR speak.
Yes.
The different ways that they're talking about these things, and having worked in not in HR, but having worked in the corporate world. And this is not even that. It's kind of like a woke corporate world. He has pronouns and everyone's just massaging each other. And it's just, it's perfect. Like, I love that part.
I feel you consensually.
And the boss, oh my gosh, I hate this boss.
I know.
But I love the actress who everything that she did with this boss, like, she's really doesn't like confrontation, but she is confrontational because she's been trained that way and uses all the words to do this. And
it's such a world.
It's good. It is so funny. And then the whole thing that the sword happened to be found and is in this comic book shop or video game, some sort of shop.
The girl's like, "Are you single?"
And he straight up steals it.
I know. And he just like runs up. And
it's so over the top and corny. And it's funny. It is funny. And so I'm like, it just kind of felt all over the place, because why don't we just do a Thor and have him stay in the real world and figure it out there?
Yeah.
Rather than just having this be a extremely short side quest that ultimately thrusts him back to where he needs to be, you know?
Yes. It was also, I don't know. It worked fine for me. It did not work for me. When you ask, is there a different way to do this? I'm sure there could be.
There always is.
There's always other ways. But as far as, did this rub me the wrong way? No. And by the time that you actually do get back to Eternia, you're just like, I don't know, coming back to Eternia is a little bit different too. I did also appreciate, because when he gets there, he's just like giving them all the nicknames that he made for them. He couldn't remember their real names.
Yes.
Which it is so funny, because the show itself, like, all of these are the names of the guys on the show. And it's very corny, because it's like, when you look at it, it's like, the guy's name is not Man at Arms. The guy's name is not Ram Man. Like,
yeah.
Like, they all have these nicknames, and they're all like, "What are you talking about? Like, where did you get these names?" Fist Man. You know, it's like, what? So I like how they explained it, of like, that's what I called you. I was 10. Like, that's just how I remembered you. So that's the name I gave you. So I feel like that. I feel like they were trying to create a way that it legitimatized the show
nickname,
and the nicknames and all of these quirks of the show that like really make no sense in the real world,
but perfectly fine in animation.
Oh, it's perfectly fine in animation. So yeah, I enjoyed it. So that's and then you get into the moment when he actually turns into Mr. Hunky He-Man, and then he's like doing his thing. I thought that was funny too, because he was just, they're like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Weirdly, yeah, I'm not hurt at all." It's just like, I don't know, yeah. There's a lot of moments that are just like, oh, that's good. And then the other moment is when he's talking to Tila, and Tila's like, "I really missed you. I thought about you every single day." "Yeah, so did I." Yeah, and they like get closer and closer, and then she's like, "As a friend," and just like totally friend zones him. And it's like, how do you friend zone this like massive man who's just like, huh, Hi.
Well, yeah, and they don't ever go back to that moment again.
Because it doesn't do that in the show.
I know. It's like, why have it, though? It's just like, well, because you're two incredibly attractive people. And why would they not be into each other?
Right, exactly.
We just assume that all attractive people are attracted to other attractive people, right?
I mean,
why when in Rome? But yeah, one thing that really bothered me was when he comes back, no one knows who he is, and he has to they spend a good solid 10 minutes trying to convince people that he remembers who they are.
Yeah.
Like, you were the boy who, like, what other movie do they do this recently? Oh, Snow White at the very end. And you were the baker. I can't remember the quotes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were in my father's guard.
That's right. And
God. He's trying to prove that he's Prince Adam. And he's like, and we fought together. We did this thing. And don't you remember that I punched your face or you shoved me into a locker, blah, 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 blah.
Is this some type of a speech that you're trying to do? It's a seminar. Okay.
That was at the end. This was the first time that he meets the crew. But to me, I'm like,
oh, right.
This doesn't work. Like, to me, I'm probably the only person who thought this, but they never would have forgotten him, even though it's been 15 years.
Yeah.
Trust me, there are people from kindergarten that you will see in the store, and you will instantly know who they are, even though you haven't thought about them in decades. You haven't, maybe you didn't even talk to them, but you will see them and you will instantly recognize a face and know, like, I know this person.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that all these people would be like, who are you? Who's this guy? What? Like, it just didn't work for me. That was like, I don't know. That's a really stupid thing to get hung up on, but
a little bit, but I also get it.
Yeah.
Like, no, I do get that as far as like, they all, I mean, I guess they all just assumed that he was actually dead,
I can believe the sorceress and the skeleton bad guy and the flying ship and all of this, but I do not believe that they don't remember him by his face. Okay? That's a bridge too far.
Oh man. Skeletor. Okay. One moment that just like made me giggle is they had this moment where he's like walking and it had the light hit his purple head like cape thing just right, so it glistened, and I noticed
that too.
Oh my gosh. And this was one of those things like, whoever did the costuming on this they were just having a ball. I loved it.
That's so funny. I noticed that exact same thing. There was like this shimmer or translucent
cloak.
Yeah. So, it's so interesting because initially when I knew it was Jared Leto because I'd heard people talking like, oh, this is his best role ever.
Yeah.
And I guess people really hate him. But then,
I
at the same time, I didn't really remember that until later that it was him. And I thought, man, if I didn't know any better, I would have thought this was Tim Curry. And I know Tim Curry isn't acting anymore.
Right.
But it gave off Tim Curry vibes. I was like, oh,
I didn't see that. Yeah.
I wish it could have been.
Yeah. Side note on Jared Leto, I was working at the Grammys one year and it was like at a moment where I was kind of off duty, but not. And so I was just kind of sitting off to the side and all of a sudden Jared Leto just like walks by nonchalantly, does his thing. Mm-hmm. And it just made me really laugh because I know several people who are like, I hate him so much. And I was oh, poor guy.
Like, you mean people who know him personally who hate him, or
people who have worked with him?
Oh, great. That's not a good reputation to have.
No. And so it was like, oh, that sucks. But anyway, that's my Jared Leto story.
Nice.
Oh, and there was another time where I was actually driving Uber in Arizona during the Super Bowl. And one of the stops during the Super Bowl that I had, like, happened to have Jared Leto, like, at the car door. And I was like, oh, hey.
Wow.
Yeah. Nice. It's like one of those really random things that happen in your life. So anyway, moving on.
So did you like Tila? Did you like Camila Mendes as Tila?
I did. I thought she did a good job.
See, I don't know who this character is. In my mind, I thought maybe she was She-Ra. That's a name I know.
No.
And no, that's not the same person.
Not the same person.
But one thing I liked, and she emphasized this, was, and I mentioned this about Adam as well, but I love the costuming. Mm-hmm. They just went full cartoony. We had color. Mm-hmm. Have we seen color in some of these movies in such a long time? It's like everyone is anemic to anything color. It has to be earth tones and really lived in and
right.
And blah. Like the king, he had this red kind of outfit that he was wearing, and then everyone just had very vibrant, not everybody, but there was color here, which I appreciated.
Yeah, even when they were in the forest, you just had all these like big colorful things popping out, and I was like, I like this.
Yeah.
With my house, I've been trying to throw in color everywhere I can, because everything, when I moved in, it was all millennial gray, and I was like, no more, we can't have this.
You're done. I'm proud of you, Chelsea.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And then Duncan by Idris Elba. Is this character something you know?
Oh, yeah.
Duncan, Man-at-Arms.
Man-at-Arms. Yes, he's, the Man-at-Arms. He's the guy who's in charge of all of the guard. And when in the show, a lot of times it'll just be like 3 or 4 characters. Like they make it seem like he's just this king of this huge kingdom, but they only ever want to draw like 3 or 4 people at a time. And one of the main characters doesn't have a mouth, which we don't see him until the very end of the show, which I was like, when are they going to bring Orko in here? But they did at the very end. Nice. for the and thus we see moment. And yes, Man-at-Arms, he's a bad A kind of a guy. Like he's just like the guy that is there to save the day. And I really appreciated his little pep talk too. When he was talking to, even though he himself wasn't like kind of down in the dumps, he was still coming out of it, and he had a bit of a moment of like, no, we're not here to like beat people up. We're here to protect our family. I was like, I like you. That's
in the cartoon. Is he the adoptive father of Tila?
He is, yes.
Okay, this makes sense.
They don't go into that at all during the film, but that is part of that's like season 3 stuff that you get to, because they actually started to like bring in lore.
Gotcha. Okay, because this is one of the parts that didn't work for me as a non-fan. I was sitting here and I'm like, why is this guy here? He's messing up the vibe between Tila and Adam. What is this? What is this third wheel? Why does this guy have to be here? Like, I get that he's the dad, and she's protective of him because he's been this drunk for who knows how long. And fine, but nonetheless, I don't like this character. I don't want this character here. So to me, I think it would have been a stronger film if it just would have been the 2 of them, and they kind of meet up with some of these people along the way. I just felt he really dragged down.
Yeah, and I guess there's certain things that it's like, okay, you could have put in some of these lines. And I think there was a moment of like, Adam does come back and he says like, let's, this is what you told me, so I'm going to tell you what you told me so that we can both come out and like overcome our own things together. So I liked that. I don't know. There's a lot of Fisto. I had very few qualms with this movie, Morgan. I like all the things that you're like
so funny.
And I was like, no, that's great.
I didn't even give you any hint of how my theater experience went or how I even felt about this movie, because I was like, I have a feeling. There's a 5% chance Chelsea really doesn't like this, but I just have a feeling Chelsea's really going to enjoy this. So I think for once, contrasting opinions of the film will be something interesting to dive into on the podcast. Yeah. But this character Fisto, they keep going to the well with this joke about fisting, which it is just a sexual reference, and it's stupid. And they kept going like again and again. I'm like, after the 3rd, 4th, 5th, it's like, okay, we got it. This is dumb. It's his name. Move on. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Well, and that's one of those things that's like, obviously that was a writer's room kind of gag that they just put in for kids to not notice. I don't know. Because he had fists. And you would like hit him. It was just like, because that's like any 10-year-old is like, that's what it means.
Yeah.
So, okay. They had a lot of the care, and that was the funny part too, is like, as they're coming up, like you had the Moss Man, and I don't remember his actual name, but we had him, and as a toy, and I remember playing with him and not really having any idea who he was, and just be like, I did have that toy. So once again, it's like you're just full of nostalgia for all of these things. Because every time they brought in a new guy, it was like, oh yeah, him. Because I haven't gone back to the He-Man well for a while. Like I haven't gone and like seen anything, so I had kind of forgotten like individuals. So there's remembrances of the main characters, but you have all these side characters that are like, oh my gosh, him. So that was fun every time. And they didn't throw them all in at once too. Like they had them come in periodically throughout the full thing. So you're having moments where you're able to be like, oh yeah, him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, him. So
I felt they were kind of all thrown in at once, but but that's interesting. Yeah, I liked they tried to make it really campy. They tried to really pay homage to the cartoon. The cartoon never took itself seriously, and so this one didn't as well. I think if they would have had this be a completely serious film, it just really would, as if it didn't work for me, it just would have definitely not worked even more so. So I appreciated the humor.
It wouldn't have worked for me. If they would have tried to be serious with it, it wouldn't have worked for me.
Yeah. Rachel Wagner, she mentioned that this feels very early MCU. Like if you like this, if you like early MCU, you're going to like this. Has a similar vibe. It's been a long time since I've seen the early MCU films, but I definitely could see similarities between Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And kind of the humor and maybe it's the space aspect. But yeah, so talking about Adam's arc, because he's our main character. He's the one we care for. Overall, I really like him. He's this prince, right? And he has all this weight on his shoulders, but we see the struggles that he has being young and not really having to, like, trying to prove to his dad who he is. And then, this sucks. Now he's stuck in the real world and he's just in this HR world that's just terrible and nothing's working out and just working a crappy job, and then he comes back and then it turns out that he has the sword and he's the one who's able to, use the power to turn into He-Man, which is awesome. But the one thing that I just thought was a miss for this movie is he has all these obvious underlying issues about his self-worth or just having the power, right? And I thought at a moment, okay, the sword is doing this to him. It's making him have the muscles. It's making him have the super strength and all of that. He's the Hercules, right? Which is great. But I felt like there had to be a moment when that was taken away and he learned, hey, I don't need the magical thing to be the thing. I'm trying to think if there's a movie, like I'm sure this is like a common trope sort of thing, but
yeah,
they kind of do that. But the way he never comes to that realization himself.
Yeah.
Every moment along the way, someone else has to tell him, actually, you are the best.
Right.
Oh, okay, now I can do the thing. Actually, son, I never thought that about you. I thought you were great.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know what I mean? I wanted a moment where he was just, in the hero's journey where he was at the bottom of the bottom and he was able to pull himself out and use the force or use magic without a magic wand or use have the master of power. I don't know the He-Man terms, but have the power without the sword, right?
Yeah.
I would have really, really liked that because I would have felt his growth and it would have been really earned versus like, hey, I'm a magical falcon and I'm going to tell you that, hey, don't worry. it was you all along.
Don't worry, it's all in you. It is a very like Scarecrow or Good Witch of the East, Glinda coming in being like, you had it in you all along. It's just like,
I want people in the comments of this episode to let us know all the various trope, whatever, like name this trope and other examples of this trope.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it's plentiful.
Yeah. The things that stand out to me most are just like the moments where they leaned so heavily into the actual like television show that just made me really laugh. Like, especially at the end where they are all laughing, like they're all standing around like 6 months later and like it's like 6 months later and the entire place looks like perfect again. I'm like, wow, they really got to work. Or maybe the sorceress came in and
let's
was like,
get our local government to do that. Whatever they did, can we emulate that? Thank you very much.
Yeah. And so they're all just standing around with like their hands on their hips and be like, and then the full back, like lean back laugh.
Which is such a He-Man thing.
It is exactly. And I was like, this had to be done exactly this way. And then at the end, when they're like, does he have to like like leave? Because we all know it's him. Like, why does he have to like go and like hide as he turns into He-Man again? Because that's exactly how it was in the TV show. Because it's like, how do they not know that he is there? Like, Adam, you never see He-Man.
Oh, I didn't know this. So
yeah,
he has an alter ego like Clark Kent.
Yes.
They don't know that Adam is He-Man. He-Man's a separate person. Oh, that's interesting.
And so that's why he's like, we got to run away and go change. So
was Cringer kind of this fraidy cat?
Yes.
Beta sort of animal? Okay. Yeah.
Just as a mirror to Adam, who is like not.
Oh, Adam's that way too?
Yeah, Adam is so like sissy boy kind of a thing. And so throughout the whole television show, and then that's why it is a Clark Kent Superman kind of a thing. So nobody really in the show.
This makes a lot more sense. Yeah. Why they had him be that way on Earth. Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
And so not everybody in a television show, not everybody knows, but at the same time, like enough people are like, pretty sure that's you, dude. And then with Cringer, he actually turns into Battle Cat when when Adam somehow the sword also has that effect on the cat.
Of course.
Like nobody else but him and the cat. And so the cat
mighty steed.
Yes, and the cat has his armor. So I thought that was funny too when the cat was like, no, I definitely need armor going into these things. Just like,
speaking of, at the very beginning you were texting me and you're like, when did MGM did they change their logo to a lioness?
Yeah, I was really confused.
I was like, no, even I know that's the cat. You're like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Oh yeah. It was just one of those moments like, wait, what happened?
I liked at the very end, I liked how it got really campy and over the top with the action and the fighting and the punches. I liked that. But overall, I was just kind of like, where is this going? We're just kind of wandering around. We're in a spaceship. Now we're, of course, crash landed on some random spot for some reason and have to talk. And now we're moving again. And now here's Skeletor and we're talking and, you know.
I mean, that's kind of how the show was. Like, this is kind of how the show was.
That's fine. That's fine.
So it's like, it's something that you just come to expect. Like, okay. One funny thing I remember watching, because the DVDs that you gave me had commentary as well.
Yes.
And so, of course, I had to watch with commentary. Mm-hmm. And there was a couple episodes where whoever was the artist who drew Orko, like, that was one comment that he made. It was just like, every show needs to have a character without a mouth, because who talks without a mouth, because then you can just, it doesn't matter what the script says, you can just move the mouth and then make it look like he's saying something, and if he's not saying something, then he's not saying something. It's just moving. So
that's awesome.
It's like, that's funny. But yeah, I do wish that they would have brought in Orko a little bit, because I was like, wait, he wasn't in there at all until the very end. And was like, okay, well, at least you're here, but I don't really care. Like, I just wanted to see you, so I'm glad you're here.
So She-Ra makes an appearance, right? In the mid-credit scene. See, I did not stay for this mid-credit scene, because by that point I'm like, oh my gosh, get me out of here. What did I just watch? And my dad's been missing for a half hour, so where is he? Dude, where's my dad?
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I guess we're getting into sequel territory. I don't know if we'll be getting a sequel, but we shall see. She's his sister.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. That's who the sister was.
/ She-Ra.
So I got a new roommate, and she's great. And she's 22, but her parents were Gen Xers, and so they definitely wanted her and her brother to learn about He-Man. And so they had she's like, oh yeah, we had all of the toys, we had all the things. And I'm like, oh, we are our best friends now.
Nice. So, I hope you still have your DVDs around, Chelsea, because
I don't actually, because I gave them to my nephew when he was young. And so he actually just loved them as a kid, to the point that he wanted to cut his hair like Adam, which is like the total bowl cut in the show.
Oh, not nice.
It's not nice at all. Like Adam looks fine in the show, but like in the well, he looks fine in real life in this version. Like his hair isn't full on bowl cut, but in the television show, it's full on bowl cut. My sister's like, no, we can't watch these anymore.
It was bad because he was wanting to emulate him. Oh man.
So anyway, yeah, that was good times.
Any other last thoughts about this film? Do you think that it was a worthy adaptation?
Well, there is a final post-credit scene as well that has Evelyn coming in. She grabs the skull off the ground and she says, "You've looked better." And then all of a sudden you hear Skeletor's laugh, like at the end. Mm-hmm. So that is to say that it is completely open to both Skeletor returning and She-Ra coming in. So here's the thing. I wasn't that big of a fan of She-Ra. So it was one, I didn't really watch all of her shows, but when I did, it was just like, I don't think this is as good. And I don't know why. Maybe because I like the dishy hunky guy. I don't know. But with her, it just seemed even more like trying, I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I was old by the time, so it's not like I was like 6 being like, oh, She-Ra, you know?
Yeah.
And I didn't have her toys. So there you go.
Gotcha.
But it is possible for them to have a sequel. I do not think that they'll get a sequel based on how this turned out in the box office, but based on the box office results so far. But it may end up getting something that goes to like Netflix or something. So it's possible. I am just interested. So like right before the whole movie started, one of the trailers was for the next Laika film. And then after I saw as the credits were going, Travis Knight is one of the owners of Laika. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, oh, hey, it all makes sense now why these are together. But I feel like anything that Travis Knight has done, he has a really good way of telling a story. And if you look at all the Laika films, it's mostly him that is directing it. And just the way that he's able to like kind of pull things together, I feel like he does a really good job. And with this one, there was a lot of fan service that he was doing, which I appreciated. And so if you weren't a fan, I can see how it would be like less enjoyable.
Well, if you're going to make a movie, you need to make the fans happy.
Yes.
Right? So if fans are always really upset when they do a movie that just completely bypasses them, forgets them, ignores them in their wishes, and they're doing it for a broader audience, right? So, but then at the same time, if you're solely catering to the fans, the broader audience doesn't like it. So I feel like this was more fan service than maybe wider appeal, but I still feel like this could be enjoyable for the right person.
Yes.
And I think this one thing that I think they could have maybe gone even more masculine with it.
How so?
But I don't know. I'm
not really saying that they shouldn't. I'm really wanting examples because yes, tell me more.
Well, seeing him emasculated so much is just very disappointing and sad. But now having seen that maybe that's kind of how he was.
Yeah.
That's paying homage to that. But hey, for a sequel, now that we've established who he is, we don't need any of this. We just need all loincloth all the time, all punching, all fighting, all slashing, all of the above. Like, yes. Yes, ma'am.
I also really liked that they just said, no, Skeletor is just bad because he's bad. He doesn't have a backstory. He doesn't have a reason. He doesn't want to talk about things. Like, not going to change him. He's just the villain and he likes it. And I was just like, you know what? I miss those days when the villain could just be the villain and we didn't have to like deconstruct them.
He's bad because he is.
He's bad. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. We don't need this crazy backstory and motives and means. Some people just are evil. They're bad. They want to do bad things.
Yeah.
We don't need to dig into it. We just need to destroy them.
Exactly. So anyway, hunky guy, totally a fan. As far as like, I ended this and also the music. The music was like, you had some really good 80s style, but more contemporary just sounds. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like they really leaned into the 80s rock band, but in a way that was, palatable to the current sounds that are happening. Um and it was like, man, this is good. This is exactly what it needs to be.
Oh, hold on. I'm looking at the guy who played Adam, and he's done things since about 2014, and he was Prince Robert in Cinderella, and I'm pretty sure that is
Oh, that's
this was the weird one that was on Amazon
Camila
Prime,
Cabello.
and
Yeah.
it was not a good one. There's some other romantic comedy sort of movies that he's been in, but recently coming out just earlier this year was Sheep Detectives. He was Elliot Matthews in that movie.
Oh.
And now seeing I'm like, oh my gosh, you were. So interesting.
Was he as dishy in?
No. He wasn't a heartthrob at all. So what would you rate this film?
I give this 4 stars. As a fan of the show, I really liked the fact that it went in and it gave me, a fan, all the things that I really wanted. Is it a 5-star? Absolutely not. But is a 4-star? It's something that I'm like, I would absolutely watch this again and just laugh at it and enjoy it. So I liked it.
All right. So I think I'm going to give it 2 to 2.5 stars.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I am not sure where it's ultimately going to land. I mean, it's still really fresh. I saw it in the afternoon. As I was leaving my theater, you were going into yours, and
Yes.
as soon as you left your theater, we essentially hopped on the podcast. So it's still very fresh for both of us.
Yes,
and I think part of my experience seeing it with a group that just was not in on whatever this was,
right.
I couldn't lean into it as much. I was just more cringing in my seat. Like, I can't believe I brought people here. That absolutely taints my experience.
Yes,
I think if I were with you, I would have enjoyed it a lot more.
Or even alone, you would have just been like, okay.
Which I've learned my lesson. I think I will continue to just do my late night movies, and I won't announce that I'm going to the movies alone because I think people think that I need friends, which of course I do need friends, but I don't need friends. I will go to a movie with friends. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm very confident in myself, just like, hey, I'm just showing up at a movie and it's 9 p.m. and I love it. It's just me.
It's just me.
So I will be more selective. I'll be a little bit more careful with the movies that I open up to the parents that I want to see, because apparently they'll pay, and that's great.
That is nice.
And I did have my fries, and I did have my waffle fries, my sweet potato waffle fries.
Those are really tasty.
They were not good today.
No?
And it really disappointed me.
Oh, no.
I think I'm just going to stick with my fries, even though sweet potatoes fries are superior in my mind.
They are.
They are the best. I love sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
French kiss. Delicious. I will eat them every day, which I kind of do whenever I'm on my eating clean plan. I basically eat them every day. But that is beside the point. This movie there were a lot of really fun elements that I liked, but it was just a lot of, like, I knew these were supposed to be important people, but I didn't have the history with them to have them really any meaningful to me. I really liked the 2 main characters. I really liked the girl who played Tila, although I did not like her contact lenses. I thought they were really distracting. I liked Adam / He-Man. I thought he was great. I loved just the transformation. I loved how campy it was at certain times, but then other times it just was kind of cringe. Oh, one of my other parts that I really, really, really loved was the transformation scene. It felt very cartoony. Yes, like,
and he's like completely stark naked, and then he's like,
just that, not that at all.
That's like what in the world?
Is that from the cartoon? I mean, that's very Sailor Moon, where it's like all of the body parts are just kind of like filled into like this opaque general color.
Right.
No, that's not what I'm
that's
talking
probably where they got it from.
No. Just
but that was what shocked me. It was just like, what?
I thought very much like Sailor Moon transformation. But when he held up the sword and it was just like the lightning and the bolts and the color, and it was just cool. And he did that a few times. Every time when he would, I have the power. I said, yes, I feel it. I thought that worked really well.
Perfect.
So with that, probably, I don't know, 2.5 stars, I guess, depending on who I saw it with.
Yeah.
All right, let us know your thoughts of Masters of the Universe. Let us know if you're a fan. And if you are a fan, did this movie work for you? As it's not a live action adaptation. Well, it is a live action adaptation. It's not a live action remake.
No.
It's just a live action make.
Yes.
So did this work for you? Did it not work for you? You can go to rotoscopers.com/369 to let us know your thoughts. Until next time, we are the Rotoscopers. That's so funny. I noticed that exact same thing. There was like this shimmer or translucent.
Yes, on the head piece.
On his cape.
Yeah.
Hat thing. Why can't I remember? Cloak.
His cloak.
Yeah. So.
See, this is the question that I have as far as like a guy like him, does he hold on to the bod? Like, is it worth it to him to like it? One, is that really his bod? And two, is
right.
Is that something that he's going to hold on to?
You can't maintain that physique.
You can, though.
I mean, you can, but if that's not your lifestyle, why would you, especially as an actor? I feel like that's something you can get into and prepare for, but I don't see actors. That's not a very desirable physique for most actors. It's, you know what I mean? Like just in general.
It's very desirable for the female to look at. I don't know where you're coming from. It's very desirable.
Touché. Of course you can maintain it.
Yeah. But as far as an actor.
Do you want to? And do you want to put in the work and the lifestyle, especially as an actor?
I mean, Henry Cavill does it so well.
Well, he does it, but he doesn't. They don't keep that tip top. This is like bodybuilders. Bodybuilders, right. They have their cut mode.
On season, off season.
Yeah, they have their off season where they're still obviously super muscly, but it's not the photo ready. Like every single, like,
for sure,
fiber of my muscles are rippling,
rippling pectorals.
You're listening to the Animation Addicts Podcast, episode 369. Do we always say it like that? 369 or 369?
369. You can do whatever you want. I like 369.
I like that better.
It makes me think of 8675309.
I love it. I love it. You've been listening to the Animation Addicts Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and be sure to leave us a 5-star review. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you want to help spread the word, be sure to share the podcast with your friends on social media. Just don't forget to tag us at Rotoscopers on Instagram and use the hashtag Animation Addicts. For all the links and full show notes for this episode, go to rotoscopers.com/podcast. Now, if you still can't get enough for your animation fix, be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and visit rotoscopers.com for more animation news, reviews, and interviews. Thanks for listening.